Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Virtuous Circus, and today I'm going to be playing with a special new team called the Wildlife team. So this is something that was suggested, but it was suggested in quite a different way. I have done some very considerable changes, including some quite interesting ones. So the person that suggested it, there's some sort of artsy person, I think. Yeah, I'm very bad at remembering names, but I just remember them being somewhat arts. But definitely do announce yourself in the comments if you do watch this video of your suggestion, of course. And my opponent does get to go first, which is going to make my life difficult, but they decide to go for a rage instead of a slam, so thank you very much, Yo Maintenisman. I appreciate it. So, in terms of how the team is set up, I was given the choice of either playing Flatshot or Hellion, and you know, giving the choice of those two characters, it's pretty obvious what you want to do, I'd say. I'd say there's literally no way to say that I'd play Hellion over Flatshot, but just so I don't give myself too big of an unfair advantage, I decided to bring a Flatshot without Content Fab Solution, which I'm definitely going to regret this match. But I do have the Spiked Bat and the Crushed Hemlock, so if I do manage to hit my opponent's backline, I will really freaking hurt. In terms of the rest of the team, the Abomination is here with the Virtuous Cloak and the Crushed Hemlock. I decided to bring Crushed Hemlock kind of as a joke mostly, honestly. But I thought, you know what, why not? Why not bring Crushed Hemlock? It could be fun, right? Now, I know I didn't slam, they can't. If they slam with this team, the Flatshot goes to position 2, and then I just pull and they're in kind of a rough shape. Well, I will pull anyway, because screw the Cultist. But, yeah, kind of an interesting setup they have going here. He only has Stab as the last ability as well, so if I leave him for last, he won't really be able to win through stress. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I decided to bring Crushed Hemlock here just so I can go Rake and actually apply the Blight as well. I thought that'd be pretty funny if I could make it work, so you know, here we go, that's what I have. Now, do I want to go for Houndsary first, or do I want to go Rain of Sorrows? I'm gonna go for the Rain of Sorrows. Sadly, there's one miss, but I apply both the Bleed and the Blight to the Abomination, so yeah, I guess I can live with it. In terms of trinkets and how they suggested, they just said, oh, you just bring the maximum amount of Bleed chance and Blight chance and accuracy that you can. And I just said, alright, and I have brought Attack Whistle, Crimson Hook, just full on Bleed chance, full on accuracy, because this team definitely needs it. It is very lacking in terms of a lot of things, because it looks solid, right? You have 3 frontline characters and a Houndmaster, so it technically looks pretty solid, especially if you had Gauntlet. But you don't really have a healer, like, you know, someone that can heal the other characters. You don't have regen like a Reclaim here, so basically they're all very selfish characters, and my opponent surrenders because they don't want to play anymore with the Cultist in position 1. They click the Occultist, they're like, oh, I have the Stab and not the Weakening Curse? Nah, screw this, I'm out of here. But yeah, this is a very selfish team. Let's see how it does in match number 2. Alright, and here we go, straight into match number 2. This time we're going to be playing against Sparta 1001, and it looks like they have also a Stress DOT team here. This person does not have all the trinkets, but you know, neither do I still don't have gauntlets, so it should make for quite an exciting match here, right? I kind of want to see the Rake, honestly. I really want to see the Rake applying the Crushed Hemlock, because if you're going for an Abomination like this, you're kind of given the choice of, you know, you go Spiked Chain, which is what you usually do if you want to use your Blights, or you could go Crushed Hemlock. It's still the same Blight skill chance for your Bile, but the only difference is that your stun is now much more unreliable, and that you have less damage for range skills, but that only really matters on the Riposte, and now I guess the Riposte can hurt quite a bit if you get a crit or 2, but most of the time it's still gonna hurt for like 2. So having the Blight skill chance on the Slam and the Rake is quite interesting. It's generally not that bad, and I'm liking it, I'm digging it. Now, do I want to go for... what do I want to go for first? I'm gonna go for the Houndsary here, because I kind of fear the Arbalest debuff, She doesn't have debuff chances, but extra debuff chances, but she does have the Light Talisman, so she's quite likely to hit my doggy. And after she hits my doggy, if she gets that debuff, that crippling debuff of minus 25% stress dealt, and of course stress taken as well, my doggy is gonna do very poorly against this team. He's really not gonna do even near as much stress as he could be doing, and I obviously don't want that to happen, so I'm gonna be trying to prevent it. One thing I could do here is maybe go Puncture, but I'm just gonna miss the Captivate because, you know, why not? Could I have waited? Should I have gone Puncture to reposition, put the Abomination in position 3, and then gone Captivate the next round where I actually have even a mediocre hit chance? Probably yes, I probably should have done that because even though I have 2 accuracy trinkets here, 10 and 8, on the Shield Breaker, she still has 80 base accuracy on the Captivate, so yeah, it really sucks. It really sucks. Once again, I have no idea. Wow, wow! I have Spiked Bat and I still failed both bleeds. Holy Mary Mother of Joseph. I'm just glad I hit, honestly, but that's ridiculous. I failed a 65 and a 55, okay. But yeah, I have no idea what, you know, the guys Red Hook hired to make this Circus balance and all that. Thought when they put Captivate and if it bleeds at 80 accuracy base, because these abilities are really mediocre and the accuracy makes them slightly worse than mediocre in my opinion, so I don't know what you're thinking, I genuinely don't know. But you know, I'd say that they actually did a pretty good job for you know, having only one balance patch, because usually that's kind of what happens with PvP games. Or even any game. If you're trying to balance something out, the first time you try, it's always going to come out very, very unbalanced. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works in terms of examples I can think of. But the Butcher Circus, you know, it's not perfectly balanced, definitely not. But it could be worse, it definitely could be worse. I've seen worse. I've seen much worse than this. It's not pay to win either, so you have that going for you as well. Well, actually, Shep, you have to pay for the Flagellant DLC and the Shieldbreaker DLC, right, if you want to use them. And they're the best characters, sort of, more or less. Well, the Flagellant is the best character. The Shieldbreaker is a very niche character, but she kind of fills a role that no other character fills, which is the Puncture just being completely ridiculous. So yeah, it is kind of pay to win. It is kind of pay to win. But come on, there's no way you can argue that, because if you had the DLCs for the base game, you have the DLCs for the Circus as well. So I think that's very, very unfair to say that the Virtuous Circus is a pay-to-win game, especially when you can still win and, like, do really, really well without these 2 characters. You can probably play your entire Butcher Circus experience, get to Darkest Rank, and, you know, beat like all your friends without ever using the Flagellant and the Shieldbreaker. Just use other characters. I'm gonna go for Reign of Stars here. We're doing a lot of DOT to my opponent's side. It might be hindering my stress output by having Bolster, decent dodge amounts, and you know, also debuffing me. The DOT, it's stacking up, and they really only have 1 heal, so I really don't see a way for them out of this. But we'll see what happens. I could try going for a day's play, but honestly, it's probably not gonna work, so I'm not too sure if I want to go for it. I'm gonna go for a Hound's-Area here, hope that it hits the doggy, and it does! So that means that now he's gonna be bleeding and he's gonna be dropping down to 0 HP, which is exactly what I want, because now if they click here, they just go down, so they either preemptively heal and really lose a lot of tempo, or they just do something else entirely. I will try to save my Shieldbreaker action because she's the most accurate to go for the doggy if they do want to click him. Oh, now I can go for a very juicy Reign of Stars. Look at that. Oh, look at those bleeds. That's awesome. This is just the Spiked Bat, the curse of the Spiked Bat, but the blessing of the Spiked Bat, since I have it now. What's the opposite of a curse? It's a blessing, right? I think so, yeah, I think it is a blessing. Well, neither of them are real, in my opinion, so technically the opposite of something that doesn't exist is something that exists. Wait, so by definition, that means that either a curse or blessing exists. Let's not go too much into that. I'm trying to play the Butcher's Circus, not not to hinder my brain. I'm trying to hinder my opponent's team, not myself here. I'm my own worst enemy. But not in the way you'd usually expect. Oh, that's gonna miss. Wow, it doesn't. They didn't even command buff. Look at this. What a madman. Goes for the exsanguinate, not even being at this door. I guess I only have 35 dodge, because I only have 1 dodge trinket to this, so they did punish me quite heavily there. It's still, that's kind of nutty. I'm gonna go for the Beast Pile now, just so I get the Affliction, and so I can click by the start of next round and go for a slam on the doggy. Depending on what they do, of course, but, you know, you don't always have to transform when you have it available, even when you want to do, like, lots and lots of stress. This is the situation, I'm not gonna be stunned, having the repulse up is fine, because if they try to go for it, you know, I probably do damage, but... What? I did 0 damage against a 0 protection Houndmaster, with just 2 battle debuffs. What? How is that possible? With just minus 120% damage, I did 0 against 0 prot. That's ridiculous, is what it is. Wow. Okay. Well, the more you learn, the more you know. I guess don't bring Crushed Hemlock then, because with Spike Chain that wouldn't have happened. I don't imagine. Oh, we're gonna go for the slime here. It looks like there is justice. There's no more doggy in this world. I mean, there's still 2 doggies in the game here, and of course, after you lose the doggy, you lose the heart of the team. So you must be forced to surrender, and we must be forced to move into a match number 3. Okay, I'm playing against opponent this time around, and of course this isn't a real player, this is just the Butcher's Circus just sending a bot my way, because my actual opponent like desynced or something as we were starting the match, so it is quite... Wow! 5%! Okay, nice! It is quite rare, but there is a possibility that you run up against one of these bots, and what's funny is that in the practice bot only plays 1 team, and they suck at it. But the actual bots that you fight when you desync in the Butcher's Circus or something, they're generally pretty decent. So it is kind of weird, but why are they pretty decent? Well, the reason they're pretty decent is because they use brain dead abilities, that's what they do. Like, I don't know how it's coded, but I'm pretty sure that the Hellion just has like a hard code. If she's in position 1 or position 2, just yop every single time, no matter what. And it kind of works. And the manner of it's like, okay, if I get to act, just bolster and then spam bellow. That's kind of what it should be coded. If there's a character at this door, Musketeer must heal them. And you know, that sounds like it wouldn't be a great strategy if you tried applying it yourself, but more often than not, it's sort of correct. You would be able to code something out like that, and it might take, you know, quite a lot of coding to... I have no idea, I'm not a coder, I have no idea what I'm talking about here, but I'd imagine it would take quite a lot of hard work to code like all the different possible situations that your team could be in. I mean, I played Scratch. I played Scratch when I was young, played it as in had to make a school project for it. I made like a really cool labyrinth game, where if you knocked into the walls with your character, like you'd be knocked back to the start, so that took a lot of coding. I had like... if you knew how Scratch worked, it would be easier to explain this, but I had like a whole screen of just, if this happens, then this, and this, and this happens, you know, just a lot of conditionals and a lot of commands. Why am I playing this match? I'm against a bot. I don't know. I think that if this match went on and on, you know, I'd definitely win this, so I'm just gonna go on to match number 4. I was just talking, you know, it happens. In Portuguese we say that conversa com as cerejas, which means that chatting is like cherries, because, you know, once you start you can't stop eating cherries. For the cherry enjoyers out there, which I am one, and I agree with that saying, so let's move on to the next match. Okay, this is actually outrageous. The connection failed again. It's not on my end. My internet seems completely fine, but it failed again. Now I'm playing against another bot, and this time it's the Mark 1. Are they better in the actual, like, in the ladder than they are in the practice tool? Let's just see what they do and see if they're better or not, because if... Yeah, no, I'm not playing this. Yeah, let's go to the real match number 4. Alright, and here we go, straight into a match number 4, this time against Hailstorm, or Hagelstorm, or, probably just Hailstorm. But it looks like they're playing a team that, this looks very familiar. This almost looks like my Lunch Grave Robber team, or J-Man's Lunch Grave Robber team, the speedrun one, except instead of an arbalist in the back, you have a Houndmaster, which is considerably more brain dead, as you can tell already. So in this situation, if my opponent is smart, even though they have kind of horrible trinkets, apart from the doggy has good trinkets. I mean, they're not horrible actually. This is fine. This is weird for sure, but it's it's usable, I guess, and it might be useful. It's just there is very tanky 38 HP and 20 prot, so they kind of know what they're doing, but in this situation I am pretty much forced to just go for the pile here. The smartest play for them would actually to maybe even be uppercut on my Abomination at this point, because even though they'd eat a repulse for it, they're quite likely to push me to the back since I didn't transform. Oh crap, that also really hurts. Ooh, I have to move back here. Yeah, that also really hurts. Jesus, this team. It actually looked a bit different because I had the Shieldbreaker in position. I mean, the person that suggested the team had the Shieldbreaker in position 2 and the Abomination in position 3. But the reason I didn't want to run that is because after the doggy would get pulled, the Abomination would be in position 4, which would be too nice. And I guess the Shieldbreaker could expose. Then she'd be in position 4, and I guess the Abomination would slam, so maybe it would be better overall, but I just thought, bring Crossed Hemlock, let's go for the rake value, right? And that is what I brought here. But now that I have the repulse, I can actually just pile at my opponent, and for their Harvest, their Flashing Daggers, and their Hound's which are their best abilities, they will be forced to just eat the repulse on it. I'm gonna go for the Chancellor here, even though it's a bit greedy, because he does have 25 dodge. I'm gonna go for him because my blind chance on the Grave Robber is honestly not that good. It's a 60, I don't go for 60s like that. I'd much rather go for a 90 here, because the Viper Spirit Tip is a nice trinket. It honestly, it just doesn't do enough for the trinket that it is, because the attack whistle is perfectly fine on the Houndmaster. 12 accuracy is amazing for the 85, and the 20 blitz skill chance on 110 just feels wonderful. It's just a really nice trinket to have. But if you bring the Viper Spear Tip on the Shield Breaker, your base flight chances are 100, so even with this trinket, your blind chances won't be like amazing. It's definitely not Panic Darts level, very far from it. And your accuracy is still gonna suck, because you have 80, 90, and 85. It pretty much averages out the Houndseri accuracy, but instead of being an ability that you just, throw a lot of it at the wall, and some of it will stick, it's an ability that, either it's Impale, which sucks, or it's a one-target ability, which if it misses, it's a pass. It's really quite poor, and this trinket is in turn of using another dodge trinket, which is honestly just feels so much better for you to bring. Just having 2 dodge trinkets rather than the Viper Spirit, because it just doesn't do enough. For this trinket to be good, either the abilities would need to be good, and then this would amplify them even more, or the trinket would need some crazy stats like 15 accuracy, 30 blight skill chance. Like, that would make it actually kind of nutty. I would like to see that happen. I'm just gonna have to move back here again. I'm sorry, doggy. You're not gonna be spamming Houndseri as much as I'd love to. I can't afford to not have my Abomination in position 3 or 2. As it is right now, so yeah, kind of a sad game for this Houndmaster, honestly, because he's just getting slowly chipped down to 0, but so are my opponent's characters. They're also being chipped down to 0, so I can chill with that. And that is a huge Panic Darts. Did they really just go for that? They went for 109 against 50 dodge. Jeez, they went for a 60, slightly less than it even. Well, what can I do about it, right? What can I do about it? I could try stunning here. Is any of my characters getting finaled? Not yet. I could go for the B-Smile, maybe apply a little bit of DOT, get him closer down to 0. I think that's smart actually. The crit buff doesn't go away yet, and this is actually going to bring him way closer to 0 now because I do the Blight earlier rather than later. That's a very important concept. It's not as important as, like, you know, guarding your characters or whatnot, but doing your DOT sooner rather than later is usually very helpful. You need to be thinking of it that way. And what does that mean, Shep? Well, oh, that's risky. Yes, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Look, you have 9 to 16 damage. Do you think you're J-Man? Do you think you're J-Man? He went for the crit finale, quite literally the crit finale. Even if you had rolled for 16, I would have lived. Kind of crazy to have to go for that, and yeah, now they get hit with a crit rate of stars. Look at that, 41 stress, Jesus. And he goes abusive too. I would, Chester, I would go abusive there as well. Snort, spit, there's my opinion. Yeah, that's my opinion. I can't spit. I mean, no, I can spit, but I'm not gonna spit here on my own room, come on. Okay, we're passed into the doggy. He is definitely suffering. Oh, you know what would really make my opponent suffer right now? Come on, Ring of Sorrows. I have the spiked bat, so I do 2 to 4 damage, but oh, it's not enough. It's not enough. How sad. The Handmaster is still not going to be at this store, but maybe I put him down to this store with a B-Spile? Potentially. They're going to go for the pull now, which is once again very annoying. Maybe I just go for the expose and just live with it. I still think going for the pull is their best move, because my doggy has been forced to just move back over and over again, and this time he can't move no more. He's gonna have to heal himself. He's taken enough chip damage from, you know, the finale. I guess it did help a fair bit. You're gonna go for the clicked bounty. It was most definitely one of the plays in the Virtuous Circus to go for the collect bounty here, hope that you get a crit on it, and you just win the match immediately after you get a lucky death blow. Yeah, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? But sadly, there is no justice in this roll. So, though, respect to my opponent for going for a wacky play like that, because, you know, sometimes you just need a little bit of RNG on your side if you want to win a match like this one. So I definitely respect the grind set. Did I say grind set? Yeah, grind set. Okay, Grave Robber, you have 45 dodge. Hopefully some of it goes away now. I'm surprised she goes for the panic darts. Why don't you follow up on your own plan? Go for the pick to the face now, and then your Jester just gets a Dirk Stab death blow. I mean, I'm not gonna let it happen, obviously. I'm just gonna go for the Hansari first to hopefully make sure they don't even get an action in. They do get an action in, but it might be enough stress. Oh, it's so close. It's so close to enough stress. 198. If he had Monkey's Paw, it would have been enough. But once again, if he had Monkey's Paw, he probably wouldn't be where he is right now. He'd probably be much healthier and much saner. So yeah, I don't think he'd be at 0 HP, 198 stress. What does he want to do now? Does he want to go for the solo, or does he want to go for the Dirk Stab? Oh, he's gonna go for the Dirk Stab into the riposte, into the pile. So yeah, he goes out with a bang. And my Abomination does die, does go down to their store here, and so is my Shieldbreaker down to their store as well. I go Paranoid, that's an extra 10 dodge, that's quite helpful actually. Thank you, Shieldbreaker, you did good. I think in this situation, what do I do? What does a smart person do? What do I do? I'm gonna pretty expose here actually. I'm gonna do this. Mostly so I can maybe go for a rage on the bounty hunter with my final turn. I'm not gonna use lick wounds or heals. I don't think that would be fair at this point. Because my opponent doesn't even have all the trinkets, so to make this a little bit more fair, I'm not gonna use my heals, and we'll see how this match goes. I will say though, if I don't use my heals, I might very well lose this. So, I mean, not healing against a bounty hunter would finish him. Yeah, that's not a very good idea, Shep, but we'll see how it goes. I'm very surprised they go for the flashing daggers instead of the finisher for the death blow, but you know, if it's stupid but it works, it ain't stupid. And oh, good job, Paranoid, good job. Oh, and that's actually something that J-Man was talking about the other day. He said like, oh, should I go command buff or should I, you know, just go aggressive right now? Well, if I miss, it's a bad play. Is it a bad play after it fails? Or is it a bad play before you even do it? Like, if there's a risk, like, what's the required amount of risk to consider it a bad play? And if it's technically too risky to do, but if it works out, is it still a bad play? Or, you know, was it like a necessary risk, a necessary gamble? I'm not entirely sure, but my god, the 25 death blows today are kind of uncanny. And I think that's actually gonna... Wow! Stalwart Bounty Hunter. No way! No way this Bounty Hunter actually goes Virtuous with an appended value. Oh my god, that is awesome. That is awesome. Is that the first Virtuous Bounty Hunter I've seen in the Circus? I think it might be, honestly. It's so rare. I come prepared, always. Look at this death resistance now, 93, 15% prot. You wanna know what the problem is, though? Even if you... No, come on, kill the flagellant. You finish him, my guy. Go for the flagellant. Please, just... I mean, please just beat me. That's what I'm trying to do here, but... please go for the correct move, and oh god, yeah, that's just... Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just the Butcher Circus, I can't do anything about it. It's just a very balanced game, as you can see. Or just Flagellant, you know, dies and crit heals another character for 20 on death. It's really quite uncanny, isn't it? Well, I think now is the best move to go for, now is the best time to go for a Hound's area here, maybe get a crit on it, just try to do something through stress. The Bounty Hunter can't really save himself anymore. If he had gone Vigorous, he might have won this. But with Stalwart, it's very difficult. It is really quite difficult. He has a lot of death blow resistance though, so... Oh, Stalwart doesn't give you damage though. Vigorous gives you 40% damage. No, but come hither, it only does 2 damage. You can't do that, you need to kill me. Oh, maybe come hither into collect bounty? Maybe that's the move. We'll see what happens. Oh, the best move here is definitely to expose, but I want to give my opponent a chance. I don't want to stress them out and win it that way. I'm rooting for this Bounty Hunter so hard. I really am. Stalwart Bounty Hunter. But I'm not going to give him the win for free, of course. If his axe falters for even a second, then his fate will be sealed. He's gonna go for the stress seal. He's saving himself. He still has a lot of death blow res. He's gonna go for the black bounty now. Yep, I'm down to 0. Down to 0 on this Snuggie. It's just gonna be a finish him, and then you still need to get to move through 2 blocks. All these characters are so pay to win. I do 0 damage though. Oh my god, the 15 prot from Stalwart. That's insane. That's uncanny. I'm gonna go for the puncture here. 37, and I don't get it. Yeah, these pay-to-win characters are just freaking insane. Look at this. The Shield Breaker just goes Serpent Swag, gives herself insane dodge, and gives herself 2 Aegis blocks. How the hell is a Bounty Hunter supposed to deal with that? He can't. She's just brutal in the final 1v1s and 2v2s. Goes for the finish him, and it is now a 1v1. It would be a fair 1v1, but... You know, I have a paranoid shield breaker with still 2 Aegis blocks, so it's not too fair. Of course, if I had been dropping exposed, the match would have been won already, but look at this. Minus 60% death blow res, still at 33. Goes for the stress seal. Oh, this poor little Bounty Hunter. You have to go uppercut here. It's your best accuracy ability. Do not go finish him. Don't you dare go finish him. Oh, you silly goose. They do go finish him, but somehow it does still hit. 67 to kill. It still doesn't kill. We need some paranoid passes here. We need some paranoid passes from our opponent to win this. Oh, just imagine if they had Vigorous. It would have been so cool. But okay. Oh, we just need a pass or 2. 82. I'm gonna give them one more chance. I'm gonna move back. One more chance to maybe get a paranoid pass, and we'll see how that goes. They might go for the collect bounty now. And it would do 9 damage here, I believe, with the brass knuckles and the last hero static. Even with the death door, I do believe it does 9 damage. If it hits, of course. It's not too likely to hit, sadly for them. They're gonna go for it. Literally 9 damage. Paranoid, no act out still. No act out still. And okay, now that you've gotten rid of my ages, now we'll make this a fair duel. Now it's a fair duel. To the death. You have finish him, so you have plus 75% chance, but you also have minus 75% death resistance. Okay, I should not have done that. I gave them the win there, let's be honest. I gave them the win there. The chance they had to kill me was like what, 65 or something. Yeah, I was rooting a bit too hard for my opponent, but you know, big GGs to them anyway. They went for the best place, and even though the win was a little bit fed to them, it was still a very enjoyable match, and I hope they appreciate the win because they definitely deserved it at the same time. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed today's video. I'll see you again another time. Cheers.